reporters, actually Ritu Singh and Mathew, who were doing the rounds of that SBI campus in Gurgaon in New Delhi, where the Sangam was held. They have some key takeaways from the press conference and some key takeaways which they have got by putting their ear to the ground and getting a little bit of gossip, overhearing something. So let me straight away go to them. Ritu, Alex, what do you have for us? Ritu, you go first.
Well, the resolution of stressed assets was clearly one of the key themes that stood out in the second edition of the Gyan Sangam. No sweeping changes, but what the bankers have suggested is various amendments to both the Sarfasi Act and the DRT. And the idea behind that is to really speeden up the process of resolution of bad loans. The use of technology was also suggested to make the process more compact. In fact, what was also taken up was reducing the number of banks in a joint lenders forum to ensure a speedier resolution is arrived at and a faster decision is taken by the banks. What is also important is the presence of the CVC in all of this that was roped in to ensure that no questions are raised on such processes at a future date. Even the asset reconstruction companies were asked for support and more participation in the resolution of stressed assets. So while the focus so far has been on recognition of the problem, clearly going ahead the focus will be on resolution of the bad debt.
Well, from the face of it, if anything is to be taken from this year's Gyan Sangam, it's that the government has committed itself to the process of consolidation of PSU banks. Now, the banks themselves have suggested the setting up of a panel, an expert panel, to study how this consolidation will take place. Now, the government is not exactly sure whether this panel will be set up, because the newly constituted Bank Boards Bureau will also be looking at how the strategy for consolidation will be formed. But the clearest statement came in from the finance minister today when he said that strong banks rather than a large number of banks is what will be preferred going forward. Now, the different possibilities for this consolidation could very well be a phased process where initially the subsidiaries of these banks could be merged with the parent, followed by a sharing of processes between banks, and then subsequently the merger of weaker banks with stronger banks, and that could very well be, according to the FM, on the basis of geographical presence and sectoral strength.